So the first thing I want you to do is actually pick up a book by Well Coaches, and I'm going to show it to you here. It is called The Coaching Psychology Manual. And again, I am going to try to just show you some of these things that I think are going to give you what you need, right? You could read a ton of coaching books and go through a ton of coaching classes, and there's, limitless supplies of those, but I don't know that you really need to obsess about it. And like I said, financial coaching is often a little bit of financial therapy, some financial coaching, often a lot of financial counseling, or even sometimes what we kind of think of as advice, but not financial advising, if that makes sense. And so the Coaching Psychology Manual is it's a thick spiral bound book that they produce, and they actually do provide a coaching certification program that this book relies on. So you go through that and then you go through the certification. I'm not saying do that certification. What I'm saying is that you can buy this book. It looks like it's about $58, $59. You can buy this. It's a good primer on just kind of the ideas of coaching, why we think they work, what the psychology is, how do we help people do some goal identification, figure out what the roadblocks are, the language to use, those kind of techniques and processes and tips and tricks. And so it's going to help you a little bit just kind of understand the mindset of the coach. And this is going to be pretty broad based. It's going to be very, very general coaching. There's nothing in this book that's going to be financial coaching related. It's just going to be coaching. And one of the reasons that I bring this up and why I say you should read this and not go into a bunch of other stuff. If you read other coaching books, that's great. And you probably don't need to go any further than that. But if you haven't had any exposure to coaching, if you've maybe done a little counseling or consulting and stuff like this, a lot of it might seem pretty familiar, but it's really kind of strategies on how to get people to buy into the things that they identify. How do we help them identify their own goals and figure out steps to get there and be accountable to themselves and those types of things. So it's very, very coaching focused, okay? And it's not going to take you long to get through this book. It's not that long, and there's nothing about it that's a really heavy lift, in my opinion, okay? So that Well Coaches book, I think, should be a prerequisite read. And the reason I start with that is I think that the coaching stuff is on this axis and in this box is going to be the easier lift, and you probably don't need to spend as much time on it as you will on financial information. And some people would disagree with me on that, but I am actually a pretty big believer that most people get a knack of the coaching stuff pretty quickly. And if you went to a day coaching training, I think a lot of the stuff is going to feel very normal, very right. It's probably stuff that you do, and you don't even realize that these are kind of coaching techniques.